a very special guest that we have with us this weekend, Miss Esther Combala from Namibia in Africa.
Hello everybody. My name is Esther Combala. I'm from a wonderful country called Namibia in Africa, and I'm working for Special Olympics Africa region as an assistant manager in sports and program development. And I'm honored to be here this weekend with you all. I'll be doing the ALPs training for most of the programs in Africa. So I came here just to steal some wonderful ideas from you and make sure that the African athletes actually benefit from all of your experience. And you've been doing this for 10 years, Mike? Michael, yes, 10 years. And so I'm really honored to be here for this weekend. Thank you very much.
Now, to tell us about his experience in Washington, D.C. at Capitol Hill Day is Ryan Kemp from Du Bois County.
Hopefully everybody can hear me. Stand beside it. Okay, my fellow athletes and friends, let us recite the oath together, our Special Olympics oath together. Let me win.
Let me win.
But if I cannot win.
But if I cannot win.
Let me be brave in the attempt.
Let me be brave in the attempt.
Good job. I'm a Special Olympics athlete from Du Bois County and good old Southern Indiana. John and Janie Kemp. And they're with me here at the Alps University this weekend. I also have a sister, Kelly, who's a middle school teacher in Jasper, Indiana, close to where I live. I'm here today to talk to you a few minutes about a tremendous experience that I had in February. I was given the opportunity to fly to Washington, D.C. to attend Capitol Hill Day with Mike Furnish and my parents. I met athletes from all across America. Also assisting me for the day was Michelle Anastasia from the National Special Olympics office in Washington, D.C. She was so much fun. Very savvy in the Capitol, and very pretty too. The biggest thing that I learned is that we as Special Olympians have a voice, and we all have a story to share, and we need to share it. We had a dinner for all of our athletes and their guests. One of the athletes from Missouri spoke to us about how important it is for us to stand up for what we believe. He was very adamant about stamping out the R word, as Teal already told you about the R word, that we want to stamp it out, for sure. R word. Just because we are differently able doesn't mean we are unable to work or do anything that we set our mind to do. The following day, we awoke in the morning to spend the day at the Capitol, where all our senators and our representatives have their offices. Mike Furnish, my mom, and my dad went with me. Michelle and I visited and spoke with 8 of our congressmen and women, and and we lobbied for the EKS Act, the Eunice Kennedy Shriver Act. And basically what that means is we're asking for funding of the for funding of the federal government, and we basically told them without their assistance that we would be unable to function as an organization. So, and then I was asked to talk about my experience as far as education goes. I then told my story, and I would like to share it with you too. When I was a sophomore in high school, a new law was passed that a student must pass a state exam called the ISTEP test to get a high school diploma. The co-op who works with students with special needs said that I would never pass the test anyway, so I should just settle for a certificate of completion. But I didn't have any of that. Since I have cerebral palsy, it has affected my ability to learn math. I was more determined than ever, though. So I took summer classes and stayed after school for mediation for the next 2 years. Still, after all that hard work, they still discouraged me from taking the exam. Imagine that, folks. To get a high school diploma, so the day before school started, my senior year, I pulled a big one. I requested a meeting with the co-op and the principal and several teachers. The co-op was very aggravated with me and upset with me because they said they never had a student call a meeting before. This was just ridiculous. But ridiculous or not, I did it. Okay. This was absolutely ridiculous, yes. Whoa. Okay. I left the meeting with the approval of everyone but the co-op. I imagine that one too. To try to take the exam. And I took it and found out only a few days before graduation I had passed. Woo! There was no doubt that if I had not been in Special Olympics at such a young age, I would have not had the skills to stand up for myself and to do what was needed in order to pass the state exam. It changed my life forever. Oh shoot, I missed a part up here. I was the first special ed student from Forest Park to graduate with a diploma, and that was really special. I'll read the last part, then we'll have fun. So another thing that I learned is that we need to vote. The people that we have in political office have a lot of power, and we need to tap into them so that they can provide the funding we need to have opportunities we deserve. If you don't vote or your athletes don't vote, please consider helping them in doing so. We really can't complain about not receiving the necessary funding when we don't even take the time to vote for the right candidate. I'm going to present a slideshow so that you can see the representatives and senators that I spoke to. I just hope and pray that we made a difference. And my final statement in closing is, before the slideshow starts, If we don't get excited and pumped up about our cause, who in the world will? So slideshow, please.